My name is Allison Johnson, Allysonjohnson. It's nice to be speaking in front of Senator Campbell and the committee today.
Correct.
I'm in support of LB 979 because I am one of 1,800 children in Nebraska with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. I have not only juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, but I also have psoriatic arthritis. It's idiopathic, so I have it in more than just 5 of my joints. And I also have Crohn's as well, which is a bowel disease. I was 3 years when I was diagnosed. However, I had it my entire life. My story of diagnosis is very painful. Just like the disease, it all started when I just wouldn't stop crying when I was a baby. My parents knew that something was wrong, so they went to several doctors, into the double digits of doctors, and this went on from the time that I was a baby to when I was 3 years old. When I was at my grandmother's house one night and I had a pain-induced seizure, we had to go in after hours to the doctor's office, and he looked at my hands and said, "Something is wrong with your daughter," to my parents. Because of my disease, I have had to quit a lot of sports. I used to run track in middle school, and I also ran cross country in middle school as well. That was when there was a lot of hope for my future for the next coming year, because we did believe that I was going into a remission, a medical remission. The summer between 8th grade and my freshman year, I actually went into a terrible flare where I couldn't walk. My joints were swollen. It felt like there were balloons between my knees. It felt like there were balloons in my hips. And we had to increase doses on several medications, and since I was diagnosed, I have been on a biologic. So I have been involved in the the Arthritis Foundation for a very long time. It started all 10 years ago when I went to Camp Spirit for the first time. And since then, I have been a representative for the Walk to Cure Arthritis, the Jingle Bell Run, and I've also spoken on behalf of the Arthritis Foundation several times, just like I am today. This bill is actually really important for the pharmacy communication between the doctor and the patient. This reminds me, a couple of months ago, I got sick and I had to get an antibiotic. And because of a lack of communication between the patient, the doctor, and the pharmacy, if we wouldn't have found out which antibiotic we were taking, I could have actually died because of the medicines that I was taking along with this antibiotic. So this communication is actually really important because we need to make sure that situations like this don't happen. Sometimes there are certain things inside, like certain ingredients inside of these other medicines that the patient is taking that we need to make sure don't counteract with the biosimilars, and this is really important that we're able to enforce this communication. So it does save a lot of trouble down the road, and I really hope that you all choose to support this piece of legislation. This piece of legislation, not just for me, but for all of the other children and adults that have this disease. So I appreciate you listening to me today.